Hi, I'm John Grenham, and in this video, I'm going to talk about using my site in conjunction with other sites to tease out threads that you can pull when you're doing your ancestral research. So the subject of this, we're looking for a Patrick Nagel, or some spelling variant thereof, born to a Michael, Father Michael Nagel, sometime around 1871, so 69, 70, 71, 72. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to another site entirely, FamilySearch.org. This is the website of the Mormon Church, the genealogical record website of the Mormon Church. This is a list of their Irish collections. And I'm going to go into the collection called Ireland Births and Baptisms 1620 to 1881. This is actually 95% a transcription of the first 17 years of civil registration births. So the between 1620 and 1864, there might be a few hundred, but or maybe a few thousand, but the vast bulk are these civil registration. So because the period we're looking for, 1869 to 73, is after the start of civil registration, um, it should be included here. The reason I'm using this is that unlike most other um, transcription sites, in particular, unlike irishgenealogy.ie, which has the original records, you can't search using a parent's name on those sites, but you can here because they're transcriptions. So we're looking for, again, a Patrick Nagel. Okay, now what I'm going to do is use wildcards. An asterisk, a star, represents any series of letters. And I'm going to take out the vowels and I'm going to replace it with the asterisks. Vowels are where all um, the peculiar sounds come, where the accents live. So if you take out the vowels, you're likelier to catch. It's a crude way of adjusting your net to catch more precise fish. Okay, he was born, this Patrick, in Tipperary. P-P-E-R-A-R-Y, Tipperary, between 1869 and 1873. 1873. And his father was Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L. So let's search and see what we find with that. Okay, it says it has 12 results, but if you look here, it's finding one of the endearing flaws of FamilySearch is that it trips over itself to be helpful to you. So it gives you records that are clearly not what you've asked for, but it also gives you the flexibility to tighten up the search. So you want to match the father's name exactly. I want only Patrick's whose fathers are Michael. I do that and there are no results. Okay. What the heck is wrong there? All right. So there is no civil birth registration. Okay. Plan B. Let's have a look at the baptismal records. Maybe there's a baptism. We know he's somewhere in Tipperary. We know he is Patrick. We know his father is Michael. So maybe we can find something useful with that information. So we go back to the site. We put in Nagel, N-A-G-L-E, and there we have the mid-19th century ones. We're now interested in the Catholic baptisms. So we want to go into the Catholic baptisms, and we are interested particularly in Tipperary. Okay, so this is County Tipperary, and these are the baptisms, the Nagel baptisms in Tipperary, in various parishes in County Tipperary. If we want to go to the originals, we can just click on the link in the okay, I'm looking for one in particular, feathered, down here, new in, and not graphing. Okay, so this takes you to a listing of all the transcripts that are available, and you can click on the link here to go to the Find My Past transcripts. So this finds all Nagel baptisms in the parish of Newen, Knockgraffan, up to 1880, which is the cutoff point for the transcripts. Remember, we're looking for a Patrick. Okay, so let's see, Patrick Nagel, and we have 5 of them, and we have only one whose father is a Michael. It's MICL. Okay, this is one of the things about the variants and the rest of it. Sometimes it's better to search broader rather than more specifically. The more precise you make the query, the fewer results you get. So it sometimes just putting in the name and not including the father's one will get you more. Okay, let's have a look at the original. This is the microfilm image of the record, and there's Patrick of Michael Nagel and Mary Dohal. That's D. It looks like an OHAL. If you look at the transcript, that's the 10th of April, 1871. If you look at the transcript, which is also here, okay, 10th of April, 1871, Ewan and Knockgraffan, Michael Nagel and Mary Dahal. Okay, now there's a good candidate for replacing vowels with wildcards as well. Okay, we have a baptism for Patrick, but we don't have a precise location. We don't have an address. Okay, maybe he had brothers and sisters. Okay, let's go back and have a look at this one here. So we take out the Patrick. We're looking for Nagels. We're looking for Mother Dahal or some variant thereof. So D, H, and L, and see what happens. Okay, there's no Patrick, but okay. All right, let's take Tipperary out and see what happens. Again, the more specific you get, okay. Okay, Dahal, let's see. Okay. It's the date range is the problem. Okay, one of the reasons, one of the hard lessons I've learned over the years is that if you're not finding what you expect to find when you're querying a database, the explanation is almost certainly you. You're putting peculiar information in. Now, there we have. Okay, Mary Dahil, Dohill, Dohill, Dahil. You can see what I'm saying about replacing the vowels with wildcards. So Patrick isn't there. His birth isn't registered. But it looks as if one of the problems about the FamilySearch transcripts is that they don't always transcribe the place names. I don't think they understood the place names. Why would they? They're in Salt Lake City. So we can use the information here to go and find a place name. So William Nagel in some place that looks like that in County Tipperary. So away we go off to irishgenealogy.ie. Irish genealogy. And if you're wondering where my site comes into all of this, don't worry. We'll get back there soon enough. So the civil records, we're looking for a William Nagel. We don't know the civil registration district except that it's in Tipperary. We know it's 1878, so we confine it to 1878, DE 78, and we search. Okay, William Nagel, 1878. Is this the right one? The only way to be sure is to go in and have a look at it. So here we have William, Michael Nagel, and Mary Dohal. So this is the right one. And that looks like Hine something's town. Okay. This is where my site comes in useful. At the top of the page, you have the overarching place name structure. So it's in the Superintendent Registrar's District of Tipperary, in the Registrar's District of Bansha. So what we have to do, whatever place name it is, we know it's in those two. The big district of Tipperary, which includes the smaller registrar's district of Bansha. So back at the site, poor law unions and superintendent registrar's districts are the same. So the superintendent registrar's district is Tipperary. Superintendent registrar's district is Tipperary. There we are. We click on Tipperary, and we're looking for the sub-registrar's district of Bansha. So whatever that place name is in the record down here, the Heidi Ho town, it must be in this list here. So if we go down to it, place name starting with H, Hymanstown. There we go. All right. Once we've established that, one of the points of having a list like this is that there was no standardization of spelling. The handwriting of a lot of the registrars was appalling. But the one thing they were legally obliged to do was only record births, and the same is true for deaths and marriages from place names within their local registration district. So if the place name is there, it must be in this list here. Once you know that, you have a much smaller target range to aim at. Okay, take Hymanstown and use it to pull more threads. The key to most other records is the civil parish. So the civil parish for Hymanstown is Relic-Murray and Athassel. And here we are at the home page for Relic-Murray and Athassel. The important thing I'm going to talk about just at the moment is this list of place names here, because these are the starting points for other record sources that can take us further. So scroll down to Hymanstown, and you can see they're all linked. There are 3 links. First of all, we click on Hymanstown itself, and it takes us to the Ask About Ireland site for Griffith's valuation. And we can look at the occupants and look at the original page. Always look at the original page if you have any chance at all. And here we go, Hymanstown. Okay. And nope, there are no Nagels there in that one. This family moved around. They're slippier than a basket of eels, this family. Okay, but there's Griffiths. If they had been there, we would have found them. All right, what about the 1901, 1911? Hymanstown, you're taken to the district electoral division, which is the area that includes Hymanstown. There's Nagels. Excellent. Michael and Mary. That's Mary Doyle, Michael Nagel. And there's Pat, who was baptized in 1871, but whose birth wasn't recorded. And there you have them on the original. Okay. Michael, Mary, and 3 of their children, 4 of their children. You can also, and it's always, one census is never enough. Once you've tasted them, you want more. Hymanstown and Nagel again. There's Michael and Mary, still alive in 1911. And if you look at this point, you see how many years they've been married, 51 years, how many children are born alive, how many children still living. And interesting, Mary, in this case, is recording her place of birth as County Waterford, not County Tipperary, which contradicts what appeared in the 1901. The point about this is that once you have a place name, once you've identified a place name, it is the key, it's the starting point, it's the thread you can pull for all sorts of other records about the family. And this, finding the place name by narrowing it down to the registrar's district from the state record of births or marriages or deaths, and then once you have the place name in the local registrar's district, going to the civil parish, then using the links in the civil parish page to lead you to the Griffiths, to the 1901, 1911. So it's you ask why did I do this? This is advanced laziness. Having spent hours poring over registrar's handwriting and not being able to decipher it, this is a quick shortcut. It's they say that style is economy of effort. Well, this is a very stylish way of finding your ancestors' addresses. Anyway, whether or not it is, I hope you find it useful. I wish you good hunting. Thanks for listening.